Hello! Welcome back to my channel, Asian Fempreneur. Today we are celebrating International Women's Day with the theme of this year, which is Break the Bias. We'll be talking about biases that women usually face for leadership and entrepreneurship. Let's check it out. But before that, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. You might have heard about biases, but what exactly it is? According to the Cambridge Dictionary, bias is the action of supporting or opposing a particular person or thing in an unfair way because of allowing personal opinions to influence your judgment. Some of the common biases that we usually face in life usually are based on characteristics like gender, ethnicity, age, even name, and then educational background. So when someone asks, okay, now that we know what this bias is it unconscious or is it conscious? The answer can be both. Bias is acquired when we are young and generally through one's upbringing or experiences. The unconscious bias is mostly problematic when one treats a particular individual or a group negatively due to their race, ethnicity, or other characteristics. For this video, we are gonna be talking about gender bias specifically. When you face a situation where you felt limited to make choices about your life, career, or personal development because of whether you're a male or a female, that's gender bias. Some examples of gender bias would be you or someone you know might have experienced something like this. At school, male students tend to be more permissible to be loud and more boisterous. Or maybe preferences for female teachers when teaching younger children. Or a particular gender preference when hiring for a particular job position. For examples of biases, gender biases to be specific, in leadership and entrepreneurship, it will be something like this. Leadership is masculine, therefore is a manly thing. You might find in some positions like in politics, government, as well as in a corporate executive, you might find more men than women because of this kind of belief that leadership is more for masculine than for feminine things that women should do. Example number 2, men tend to have been more recommended than women even if they both have access to the same network. This leads to believe that women has fewer connections. If a woman and a man are in the same network, a network connection party, they both have the same skills, same experience, and then also connect with the same people. But then the people that they work with might know some client, like a third party basically, that might want or looking for people with the qualifications that the initial men and women have. The network that they met in the party would tend to introduce the male one instead of the women one because they have the perception that the client prefer a male. This is something that will be called as second generation bias. Example number 3, women tech founders get less funding by VCs compared to men, especially in masculine industries like finance and tech, because these industries are usually associated with men. So now that we know some of the examples of biases that women or even men face in leadership as well and in entrepreneurship, how can we break the bias, right? Some ways to do that would be 1, examine our own biases. Everyone has biases to a certain degree. It's our job. In order to be able to make the world a better place, we should start from our own self and start how our biases affect how we treat the people in our surrounding. And number 2, be an ally, mentor, and sponsor for women around. So if you say that this is International Women's Day, men has no place in this, that's not exactly true. This is where men, women, non-binary, people can support women through being mentor or being an ally for what their accomplishments. Because scientifically speaking, and this is also related to our third example, women tend to not speak out about their accomplishments, which is related with their self-confidence. And having someone that knows and speak out about their accomplishment will help as an ally. That will go to example number 3. For us to increase our self-confidence by practicing telling ourselves about our accomplishments, however small it is. Maybe if you prefer to, you can talk, record about yourself, or even talk with other people, make an accountability group that we will share our accomplishments. Or if you prefer to keep it yourself, you can write it on a Google Sheet or Google Doc or whatever, or a journal if you're more comfortable writing about it. And number 4, which is related with the self-confidence, which is to keep on building new skills and connect with fellow-minded people. I believe that life is a journey of learning, right? So learning doesn't stop once you finish formal education. By upgrading our skills, by increasing our knowledge, and getting more experiences in fields that you're interested in, that would increase our self-confidence. We've talked about biases. We've also talked about the examples of gender bias in leadership as well as in entrepreneurship, and ways to reduce biases, right? Nobody is free of bias, but we can reduce it by being aware and treat other people better. That's it for today's episode of Asian Fempreneur. Thank you, see you in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe. Hello, welcome back to my video channel Asian Fempreneur, where you can find